All right, everyone, we are here with War Map 5 at a glance. As a reminder, thank your officers for the work and time that they put in, and this is just an abstract planning war. So taking a look at bans first. This war we have bans on Quake, Ghost, and Corvus. So we've seen this before. Quake back in the picture for this war, Ghost the most common, and then Corvus back on the table. Taking a look at the boss first, we've got a Nimrod boss. You can take this with Medusa, Tigra. You can probably even get away with Nebula and holding on to charges and doing some sort of SP3 rotation. So pretty common or pretty good option. Mangog here, S99, Mr. Negative, Magic. We had a Mr. Fantastic not work too well last war. Bad timing with the Unstoppable. MODOK here, you can use Mole Man, you can use Magneto. You could probably use Kingpin. So a few options here, not too problematic. Super Skrull here, Tigra, pretty much is the only one that stands out. You can use the Hawkeye or War Machine synergy to help with debuff purification. Hulkbuster here, you can probably get away with Claire. You could also use Sorcerer Supreme or Tigra as well. You don't even have to be the best Tigra player to take that with Tigra. Black Panther Civil War here, you can use Sorcerer. I've heard her work. Tigra would work as well, just don't hit into block. And then maybe a slow option like Silver Centurion, but since he's unduped, you have to look out for the Stun Reflect. Warlock, we've got, Weapon X, we've got Warlock or Nimrod as options. I'm sure a Rolk could take this as well. And then Cersei here, my go-to would probably be Tigra. Mojo can probably handle it pretty well too. It'd actually be pretty entertaining. She just degen to death with you activating every prompt that shows up because there's not really a node there, or there's nothing on the node to prevent activating any of the prompts. Venom here, I'd probably use a Horseman Cable. Claire is also someone who works, as you'll have time to get to buff immunity, especially if he doesn't start with an armor up. So kind of a new placement, but not really. You just have to slow play this and be smart. Path 1, nothing too specific. You can use an Apocalypse or Storm for Mole Man there, or you can use Warlock. And then Arcus there, I'd probably use Human Torch with the pre-fight, as S99 and Mr. Negative don't have any immunities to Cold Snap. So Path 2, probably go Apocalypse the whole way. You can probably get away with a Mole Man for Yellow Jacket, and then a Silver Centurion or a G99 or Guardian for Kitty. And then CGR there, you can use White Magneto. You could use Magneto Horseman. You could also use Claire. And then Domino here, probably Warlock with the Odin pre-fight for shock resistance. You could even use Silver Centurion or Guardian or Nimrod with the Odin pre-fight as well. So plenty of options for her there. Fury here, I'd probably go Apocalypse. You can also use Kitty Pryde. You can also get away with Omega Red. So Fury being on that node is pretty common in older wars. Path 4 there, probably go Warlock for Immortal Abomination, and then Doom or Kingpin for Null. You could actually even use Kingpin for Immortal Abomination. Path 5 there, you can use Human Torch with the pre-fight for Sasquatch, and then use S99 for Chavez, or you can use Mr. Negative and hold till SP3. Could probably even get away with Archangel against Sasquatch, just watch the damage. And then Path 6 here, probably a Mole Man or Fury for spam, and Nimrod or Doom or Magic for Apocalypse. Kingpin here on Footloose. You can use Kitty, you could probably use Apocalypse. You could probably risk a Tigra and just try and prevent the armor ups and the buffs from the special attacks. Just know that he'll potentially gain a lot of power from his combat rate. Mojo here, we got S99, we got Mr. Negative and Archangel. You could probably nuke down with Archangel. Path 7 here, Magneto for Penny, and then Fury or Apocalypse or Mole Man for Hit Monkey. Path 8 there, I don't see a reason Doom wouldn't work, but you can also use War Machine for Storm, and then maybe Claire or even Tigra for Nova. Path 9 out here, probably go Kingpin full synergy for both, or Magneto for Doom, and then Terrax for Magneto. Bishop here on the node leading in for Window of Opportunity. I'd probably go strict Apocalypse here, just no suicides, and know that as soon as he gains the Disorient immunity, it's going to result in the Purify damage that Bishop does. There aren't many for that node that I can see going well. Mordo here, you got Mole Man, you've got Archangel, you've got Killmonger. LS here, or Longshot, you've got Mr. Negative, you have S99. You could probably use Human Torch in a pre-fight and just melt him down. So plenty of options for him here on Power Snack. Going to section 1, Man Thing here, you've got Mr. Negative, you've got Nebula, you've got Omega Red, you've got Rolk. I've heard of a rank 4 Apocalypse working as well. Path 1, we had a Terrax and White Magneto there. You could use Claire for both. You could use Tigra for both. You could even use Kitty Pryde for both. Path 2 there, probably go with Magneto with Max Pacify for Green Goblin, or Human Torch with a pre-fight, and then Human Torch or Mr. Negative for Maw there, even maybe Tigra. And then Path 3 there, just put an Odin pre-fight, and you can use pretty much any tech with an armor up for Havoc, or you could even use Havoc and just parry heavy him, or you could use Silver Centurion, and you don't need an Odin pre-fight. Path 4 here, probably Kingpin synergy the whole way through. I'm sure you can get away with Fury for Mr. Negative, and then maybe Mole Man or Shang-Chi for Dragon Man. Path 5, Claire, Fury or Killmonger for Thing, and then Apocalypse or Storm Pyramid X for Jabari. And then Path 6, Professor X there, probably just use Human Torch or use Warlock or any real tech that handles him pretty well. And then Path 7 through 9, we've got Surfer here. You can probably just use Kingpin, you can use Rolk, you could use Captain Marvel. Path 7 there, probably can use Medusa or Magneto for Darkhawk, and then Fury, Falcon, Mole Man for iHulk. You can use CGR for Killmonger, or you could use Terrax, or you could even use Namor or Omega Red. And then Path 9 out here, probably you could try Kingpin for the whole thing. I don't know that I'd recommend that for Void. For Void, I'd probably use Cosmic Ghost Rider or Rolk. Or even Captain Marvel as well for the whole thing. But Kingpin for Annihilus as well, if not Captain Marvel. But yeah, that is map 5. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it helped. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you guys at War Attack.